I'm not trying to look younger. I'm trying to look distinctive, extraordinary. So the gray hair to me as long as you're comfortable with it and you embrace it, the gray hair looks extraordinary. It doesn't look aging, to me at least.
So when I think about women embracing and on the gray hair journey, I think about how to not look old with your gray hair. And it's not about looking younger as society makes you think that you should look younger. There's so many videos here on YouTube about looking younger, but it's not about looking younger. It's about how not to look old with your gray hair. And it's not all about your clothes, it's not all about your hair, but it's about a total look and a philosophy that you can use throughout your gray hair journey as you're embracing a more mature age. Then I want to share with you 8 tips today on how you can wear gray hair without looking old. So I have Miss Lynn Lucas, who is an influencer. So Miss Lynn and I had an amazing discussion. So Lynn and I are going to go back and forth based on our 8 tips that I'm going to share with you as to how you can wear gray hair without looking old. So I'm going to give you my perspective and then I'm going to share Lynn's perspective. So let's get into this video. The first tip I'm going to share with you is don't try to look young. Just work on being confident and comfortable with your gray hair. You want to be able to have a confidence about you that you just feel good about yourself. So you're not trying to look younger. You're just trying to be more confident and more comfortable with your gray hair. First, love yourself. And secondly, you need to make sure that you have the look that you're trying to get. So making sure that you are comfortable with your clothes, comfortable with how you dress, comfortable with putting on makeup. And it doesn't have to be an extraordinary. You don't have to look like you're walking down the runway. So now let's take a look at Lynn's perspective and what she feels about the very first tip that I just shared with you.
That one is the biggest key. I don't try to look younger. I just try to look dope or fly or stylish or fashionable at my age. And that's the one thing that drives a lot of choices: hair, makeup, clothing, shoes, even attitude. Because sometimes if your attitude if you're in your head about age and you're thinking about it all the time, you'll project it even if you don't look your age. And I see a lot of people carrying like an attitude that they're uncomfortable with their age and they're insecure about their age, and they'll project that. And people will like receive it that way.
The second tip I want to share with you is huge because this is everything when it comes to life, when it comes to the way you look, the way you feel. Mindset is everything. We have so many words in our vocabulary and people always talk about manifestation, but we're always manifesting. When you think about, the arthritis word is killing me. That's a manifestation. Like the more of that you say, the more of that you're going to get. And if you say that this big old stomach or, this hair is so thin, I'm a hairstylist for 30 years and my clients, they'll say, this hair is so thin, I don't know what to do. But you got to speak love to yourself. So mindset is everything. So we need to watch our words. We need to watch how we're speaking to ourselves, how we're speaking to others, the conversations that we have with others, because a mindset, trust me, is everything. So make sure that you constantly work on your mindset. Speak more positive words to yourself. So have conversations that are more uplifting as opposed to, energy draining, because those conversations can go on all day. If you're talking to your family, your kids, your husband, and even in a work environment, they can be draining and they can take a lot of your energy away. So the second tip is work on your mindset. So now let's look at Lynn's perspective on how she works on your mindset and how mindset can help you not feel old with gray hair.
One thing that I try to do on a regular basis is to make sure that I'm comfortable about that age. Because I think one thing that a lot of people do is they project their discomfort with their age, the fact that they're a little insecure about their age. They project that and it comes across in their attitude, and that in and of itself can be very aging. If you project that you're sort of uncomfortable with your age, people pick up on that and it makes you seem older than you actually are.
Third tip I'm going to share with you about how to wear your gray hair without looking old is to adapt to a more modern look for your hair. Now that could be a pixie cut like mine. I love my pixie cut. I mean, y'all, I'm not growing hair because I don't even curl this hair. So it's easy for me. It looks modern. It's never going out of style. So you must adapt to a more modern look for your hair. And I tell you, a more modern look for your hair means going to the hairstylist, a professional hairstylist, at least every few months. Not every week, not every 2 weeks, not every 3 weeks if you just don't need that. But every 2 to 3 months, having your hair shaped, having it properly conditioned, if it's a conditioning treatment that you can't purchase in the store. But what I always tell my clients, I love to earn money from doing hair. I have earned money for 30 years now. But since we had our experience a few years ago, I always tell my clients not to be a slave to these hands. Like, you need to learn how to do more with your hair so that you can do your hair at home. But adapting to a more modern look for your hair, and so that you can wear your gray hair without looking old, you have to have a cut, a stylish cut that fits your facial features, that fits your lifestyle, that you can do at home. Is the best way to adapt a more modern look to your gray hair and to your look every day. So look on Pinterest, look through some magazines, look and see what you can find that might fit your facial features, your head shape, your body type. Because when I do a cut, it's not just all about from the neck up, it's the body shape. It's your work environment. How do you want to look when you go to work? And what are you going to be able to maintain between visits to the salon? So make sure that you take these tips in mind when you're adapting to a more modern look to your hair. So Lynn is going to give her perspective on what she feels like when it comes to hair when you're growing gray and embracing the gray hair journey.
I started graying at 17. And I colored my hair for years because at 17, that's not a comfortable age to start looking like you have gray hair. And it wasn't until I actually locked my hair. I locked my hair in 2018. I had been natural for years, but I've been coloring my natural hair. In 2018, when I decided to lock my hair, my hairstylist and I had a conversation, and she was like, "Do you want to color on top of your locks?" I'm like, "No, because it's pretty clear. It's very gray. Especially in this area, it was really, really gray, and the gray was growing back on a regular basis, like a week or two after I dyed it." So I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and embrace it and see what it looks like. And it's funny because I always had a gray streak, in the whitest. I don't know if you can see the whitest part of my hair up here. That's where the gray was coming in when I was 17. By the time I stopped dyeing my hair in 2018, that it was like a full-on white patch. I was like, that actually looks good. Let's go ahead and go with that. And it's been gray pretty much ever since. I'm not trying to look younger. I'm trying to look distinctive, extraordinary. So the gray hair to me as long as you're comfortable with it and you embrace it, the gray hair looks extraordinary. It doesn't look aging, to me at least. Even when I see it on other people and they're like, "Oh my gosh, my gray," I'm like, "Yo, your gray is white. Your gray is platinum. Your gray is sterling. Your gray is like glitter in your hair if you embrace it and you get super comfortable and you get confident about it. That confidence comes through and it makes the gray cooler than most people tend to think it is.
So the fourth tip I'm going to share with you today is create a beauty and makeup routine that works for you. Not for me, but for you. And if you missed it last month, February of 2022, we had an amazing showcase of makeup applications. And you can go back and watch that beauty playlist. You'll find tons of videos there that might help you create a beauty routine that works for you. So I'm not talking about a long drawn out beauty routine, okay? I'm not talking about 45 minutes in the mirror in the morning. I'm talking about anywhere from 3 to 15 minutes. That's long as I do. So this routine didn't take much time. It's just a little skin conditioner by the Lip Bar that gives my skin moisture and also gives my skin a little color. It's their powder and it's a little bit of their matte lipstick and also a little bit of blush. And filling in my eyebrows. Now, if you did miss that eyebrow video, you gotta go and watch that eyebrow video, how I show you how to create an eyebrow look 3 different ways based on your makeup, based on your clothes. So you gotta go watch that video. But a makeup routine does not take you long. It does not take long for you to look even more beautiful. Now, I'm not saying you should possibly wear makeup every day. I feel like I need makeup every day. And it's not about the look, because I've come on these videos where there's very minimal makeup, but you want to make sure that you have some kind of glow to your skin. And sometimes it's all about that one little glow to your skin, be it a blush, lip gloss, a little filling in of the brows. You cannot miss out on these brows. Almost, to me, when I wax my clients' brows, it's almost a facelift without surgery, is what I say, when you get your brows waxed and you fill them in. It just gives your look a pop. So work on wearing your gray hair without feeling old by creating a makeup and beauty routine that works for you. So let's take a look at what Lynn's perspective was on that.
So my morning routine is very fast. I use butter skincare, cleanser, toner, vitamin C oil, because it's aging skin loves vitamin C, and then a moisturizer. And then my favorite product, which is almost like a one and done, is the Lip Bar's 2-in-1 tinted moisturizer. I do that on my whole face, and I can almost skip everything else except lipstick and mascara. Today I did a dramatic eye, because I like to focus on one part of my face too. So today I did a dramatic eye. Sometimes it's a dramatic lip, like a really good red lip, but most of the times it's just like foundation, mascara, and lip gloss, and I can be done with that in probably 15-20 minutes.
So the fifth tip that I want to share with you is upgrade your style and don't dress your age. Now that's a huge one, because a lot of times people say you need to dress your age, but what does that mean? What does that mean to you? I know for me, it doesn't mean anything to me. Because if I want to wear some leggings, if I want to wear a little shorter skirt to show my legs, I'm going to wear it. But it's going to be in a certain kind of manner. So I may have myself covered up a little bit more, but I still have on my short skirt and I still have on my leggings. But it depends on how I cover myself up. So when you're thinking about dressing your age, you need to make sure that you do something in your closet. You declutter your closet, and you want to get rid of everything that's no longer serving you. You want to have some amazing quality garments. It doesn't take much, because I know in my closet I might have about 6 pair of jeans. That's it. And I think over time I've become a minimalist. Now I love shopping, don't get me wrong. I do have my retail therapy, but my retail therapy is mostly shopping anywhere. Especially the majority of my shopping comes from consignment stores and thrifting, which I've done for at least 30 years. So make sure that you figure out what clothes need to be removed from your closet based on what you are currently wearing and how you look and feel with your style. And I want to invite you to take our Do You Know Your Sense of Style quiz, which would be linked in the description below. It'll help you determine if you're more fashion forward, or a fashion follower, I should say, or if you're a stylist in the making, you need a little bit more help with your style, or if you're a creative self-stylist. We have like 5 categories that this quiz will put you in and help you understand your style a little better. So make sure, don't dress your age, dress how you feel. But again, with all of that, make sure that you upgrade your style. So now let's take a look at what Lynn shares with us when it comes to her style.
I wear what looks good on Lynn. The age thing is not usually a factor for me. I know my body type. I know the things I want to highlight and the things that I want to minimize. But mostly I know the aesthetics that I want to get across. And to me, fashion should be dope. Fashion should be ageless. Fashion should be fly. If it hits those notes, I don't think about, well, I'm too old, so I can't wear that. So yeah, I wear body conscious. Sometimes I wear oversized slouchy because I want to create a look. And sometimes I wear fitted bespoke because I want to create a look. It's more about knowing my body type and knowing the message that I want to get across with my outfit than it is about the things that I can and cannot wear at my age. I will break all kinds of fashion rules if I think it looks good on me. I'll wear white in the winter. I'll wear black in the summer. Like, conformity doesn't work well for me. And I know this about myself. Like trying to conform or be traditional or be middle of the road, that doesn't work for me. It comes across dowdy for me, at least. I know everybody's different and some folks like that middle of the road section. It works for them and that's fine. It just doesn't work for me. So I don't necessarily go through extreme outfits, but I also don't adhere to most rules that people set for people of a certain age either. So also, I'm a fanatic about heels. I have not given up my heels. I refuse to give up my heels. I'll do some ankle stretches. I'll do some plies and releves, and I'll put on some ankle weights to. I'm with Carrie on Sex and the City, and that I'm gonna wear heels until I cannot wear heels at all anymore.
So the sixth tip that I have for you is, and this is probably going to be a shocker, explore your inner child and do the things that you used to do, that you loved to do as a child with no judgment. Okay, y'all, you see this rope, this jump rope? This jump rope goes almost everywhere with me. Some of the things that I love to do as a little girl, because I really feel like we all still have that little girl inside of us, right? I jump rope. And I don't jump rope every day, but I jump single rope, and I'm also a member of the 40 plus double dutch club. And I love to jump double dutch. So that's one of the things that I love to do as a child. And another thing, explore your inner child. Is it shopping? Is it traveling? Which is another thing that I really didn't do a lot of as a child until I got to about my early 20s. And I was everywhere in my early 20s. You know, before I had these kids. But when I had these kids, I started taking them with me, you know, and my family, now we travel. But explore some of those things. Do some of those things that you want to, you know, that made you feel good as a child. Not some of the things that you remember that are not so good memories. You don't want to take yourself back to not so good memories. But I know there is at least one or two things that you love to do as a little child. Was that baking? Was that sewing? Was that coloring? Because now we have the adult coloring books, right? So make sure that you bring out some of the things that you love to do as an inner child. So now let's hear Lynn's perspective of what drives her, what are her passions, and what things that she likes to do as she explores her inner child.
I have a playful, adventurous, investigative, curious spirit. So, and I'm newly single, no kids. My youngest left the house in 2017. So it's been about 4 years of me having a house to myself for the first time in my whole entire life. So it's important for me to continue learning and evolving and trying new things. And I think that's how I keep my youthful spirit, and that I approach things like I want to learn new things I've never learned before. I want to try new things I've never tried before. I want to travel to places I've never been before and explore them with the curiosity that you would have if you were youthful. And I think that actually keeps you youthful.
So the seventh tip that we're going to share with you today as to how to wear your gray hair without looking old. Now, I know you might say some of these things do not have to do with hair, but that's what I always say. It's not just about the hair when we're talking about wearing your gray hair without looking old. And the seventh tip is love your newly found freedom. Love your freedom for not having to color this hair and sit in the salon 2, 3, and 4 hours every 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks. That's a newly found freedom. Love your newly found freedom if your kids have left the house and you're embracing your gray hair and you just feel free. Love your newly found freedom to take more hot baths at night. You know, love your newly found freedom to go hang out on the lakefront, to go get some sun, because I love to do that. So just love your newly found freedom, whatever that is for you. It could be reading a book. It could be listening to an audio book. But no, it does not directly relate to going gray. But trust me when I tell you, going gray is a lifestyle. It's not just about the hair. But it's so many aspects that's going to make you wear gray hair without looking and feeling old. And we're sharing these tips with you now. So let's take a listen to what Lynn says about loving her newly found freedom.
I'm developing a lifestyle brand. It's called The Lavishry. There is an Instagram page for that. But the idea is that we, at whatever our budget is, can live lavishly. Lavish doesn't necessarily mean that you're spending a lot of money. It could be based in you having really abundant, lavish, luxurious, I cannot say that word, experiences. I love to travel. I love to travel well. But traveling well doesn't necessarily mean you have to like ball out of control. You can find really dope experiences, lavish experiences at your budget. Things like traveling and going to a hotel that has its own spa and or massage facilities attached, so you can make a whole spa experience as you're on vacation. And then following that with like the in-hotel activities, if they have like parties or a dinner with like the staff, concierge services, pairing all those things together to create a lavish experience. Or if you go out and do like adventures or the itineraries that they have local, going sailing or having like dinner on a yacht, or snorkeling and then following the snorkeling with like a beach dinner. I've done traveling table, which is a curated dinner experience that you have that features like local foods and or drinks, and sometimes even the decor at the beach will be all geared around the local experience, and they've been really beautiful, memorable experiences. And I want to create those kind of experiences for other folks, so that's what the brand is about. And all of that to me is how you remain youthful, is in that if you're curious, if you're trying new things, if you're sharing those new things with other folks that are like-minded, you'll retain that youthful spirit within you.
So the 8th tip that I want to share with you today is create a new sense of the word aging. So when someone asks your age, what do you say? And sometimes, that's a no-no for a lot of more mature women. Don't ask me my age. I'm not telling my age. But a lot of times when we think about the word aging, we relate it to so many different things. We relate it to ailments. We relate it to illnesses. We relate it to just not feeling good and wrinkles. And so uplift the word aging. Show the word aging some love, and maybe not even use the word aging. But whatever word you come up with, make sure that it's more positivity related and connected to that word aging. So let's create a new sense of the word aging. When someone asks me my age, I have no issues with telling someone my age. I always say I'm 53 years young instead of saying I'm 53 years old. Because when you think about old, you just think about like that old purse or that old shoe. It's just like, let's create some youthfulness. And again, we're not talking about being young. We're just talking about being better. We're still learning. We're still growing. And we still want to grow and become the best versions of ourselves, even at 53, even at 63, even at 80. Like when I think about women and men who've started things way into their ages, I think I saw a woman, she was like in her 80s and she was a bodybuilder. That's inspirational for me. Maybe I might not become a bodybuilder, but I learned from her how to build my body. Not for a competition, but just how to look better, how to feel better, and how to become the best versions of you. So make sure that you create a new sense of the word aging. So now let's listen to Lynn and her perspective of the word aging.
So I think the biggest thing is that the talking point that you just gave me, in that, just living freely. As I mentioned, I'm single, no kids. And what I realized is that freedom that you experience when you get grown, and you are not just free from like those kind of responsibilities, but you also get free spirited. You get free from traditional thinking about age and aging and your gray hair and all that. You get free of other people's like attitudes, possibly negative attitudes toward graying and aging. You get free from any conformity or convention. You get to define who you are and what you want the rest of your life to look like. That freedom can inspire you to do so many things. Since I became single, no kids, I've traveled to Bali, Indonesia. I climbed a volcano. I've ridden an elephant. I've traveled to Rio de Janeiro. I've been in at least one carnival, I think in Anguilla. I've driven a speedboat. And I don't necessarily get to talk about all of these things on my Instagram or in blog because I'm out here trying to create new experiences. I want women to enjoy that same level of freedom. I want them to understand that when you become free, you get to define who you are and who you want to be. And that doesn't stop because you're a certain age. You can get to 40 or 45 or 50 or 55 or 60 or 70. These women are so fly at 50 and 55 and 60 and 65 and 70. They inspire me to see women working out and winning weightlifting and bikini competitions, or getting major brand deals as brand ambassadors for major brands at these ages. Like, they inspire me to try to do, other inspiring things. And I think I want all women to understand, you don't necessarily have to be on the billboard. You can do this for you and make yourself happy and inspire yourself to, live outside of your own boundaries. So if there's any takeaway from all of this, I want women to understand that they're free to define who they are.
So what do you think inspires women like us who are going after our dreams and desires and creating more lifestyle experiences at our ages? What do you think inspires and pushes us out there to do that?
Our age range, and I'm thinking a little bit about retirement, this doesn't look like it did for our mothers and grandmothers. It looks really different. I see my peers, like people like you, the other women that I mentioned, I see them a few years ahead of me just doing really amazing things. And it makes me say, you know what? I don't have to sit home and, wait for things to happen for me. I can go out and create things and make them happen. I think the tipping point for me was going to Brazil and seeing that their lifestyle was so dramatically different. Like, they work hard, but they don't work that crazy schedule that they do in America. So when they're done, first of all, they start their day on the beach playing soccer or volleyball, running, going swimming before they even go to work. And then at 5 o'clock, work is done. They go enjoy their families. They enjoy spending time with their friends. They're physically active and having fun and enjoying life. And that inspired me to think differently about what the next phase of my life was supposed to look like. And that, I think, inspires women like we're saying, our 50s and 60s don't look like our mothers and our grandmothers, and we want our 50s and 60s and 70s to look like this. And then what we do is we go and create that. Even if nobody says we can't, we'll go do it ourselves.
Yes, because we can. We're creators.
Exactly.
We create our own reality.
Right.
And I think we're learning more about creating our own reality as we age gracefully.
Yes, and that's important. Yes.
Wow, this was awesome. I'm so excited. I've been meaning to reach out to you forever. So
this was so great.
Glad we got to sit down and talk about these topics. And I think that this topic was the best to have you included.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. This was great.
You're welcome. So I want to just say thank you for your time, and I hope I know that this will inspire plenty of women.
Great. Good. This was awesome. Thank you for having me.
And I wanted to say that Lynn was the very first person that purchased one of our Go Great Be Chic.
I love that.
Yes,
I love that shirt.
When you tagged me, I was like, who is this? I don't know this person. And I was screaming. I was so excited.
I don't want people to be sad about like going gray. It's kind of dope. It's kind of dope here. Like, it's actually like super dope. So yeah.
Thank you so much. So I hope that you learned in this video how you can wear your gray hair, even if you haven't transitioned yet, even if you're still on the journey, but how you can wear your hair without looking old. I love the tips in this video. I love Lynn's perspective. So occasionally I love to bring another perspective in, because we're all learning, we're all growing, and we're all continuing to embrace the journey. If you have not even transitioned to gray hair, I inspire you, I uplift you, and this channel is to encourage you to do that with style. And so I hope that these 8 tips that we share with you today, I hope you go and run with them. Let us know which tip you resonated with the most. If you're looking for a community to grow and get more inspiration in, make sure that you join Grown Girls Go Gray over on Facebook. Make sure you explore some of our Go Gray Be Chic apparel. You can find that link in the description section below. And if you are still on the edge of your seat trying to figure out if you got one foot in color and one foot out of the color with embracing and growing your gray hair, make sure you check out our very first video that we filmed that sparked the Go Gray Be Chic movement. So thank you for watching, guys, and remember, make the rest of your life the best of your life, and don't work on being younger, just work on being better. And until the next time, take care. Peace.